the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, so the snow and rain have stayed out of the forecast, but we're in for a cold afternoon at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, PA. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. They'll be brought out by the two-time MVP in the NFL, who's now in his 15th season, Aaron Rodgers.
It's a pretty bland game he had last time out. Ended up throwing one interception. Didn't have a touchdown to offset it. But the team found a way to win. He found a way to lean on other parts of the offense that carried them through.
On play action, it's Rodgers. Open man is Kirk, complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Heck of a start, a 30-yard pickup on their first play from scrimmage. Well, how about a deep ball on the first play from scrimmage, putting that secondary on notice?
Brandon, all I remember when I was a player is that we always took a test the night before the game about teams' tendencies and what they plan to do. I'm not sure we think deep ball right out of the gate and putting us back on our heels.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. The throw over the middle taken in. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 23 yards, the final tally. So the same tandem connecting on back-to-back throws to start the game.
And maybe throwing the scouting report off just a little bit. That's not exactly what they think is going to be their number one receiver, but he's producing already early in this game.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it 2nd down. And a peek now at the offense for Cleveland.
And a big key is going to be how can these wideouts create separation from the defensive backs, because we've seen some early success in the passing game in this one, and that's going to need to continue.
To throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers caught by the tight end Watson. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 7 yards there and a 1st down. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 6 catches, 125 yards.
And he's trying to prove the adage, it's not just how you start, it's how you finish. And he is finishing awfully strong, takes great care of his body. I expect him to go ahead and put a capper on this season.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. Against the pass, they're toward the middle of the league, number 15 in the NFL.
I think if you talk to their head coach, you'll get a nice answer about how much he likes his team and what they're doing. But at the end of it, he would admit there's definitely room to improve.
A The first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Throwing is Rodgers. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And the Browns are out to a 3-0 lead. Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
This one taken from the 7. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Steelers under longtime head coach Mike Tomlin. They'll be led out by the first pick of the second round back in 2001. And that's the veteran Drew Brees.
I love just about everything about him. Love his game, love his makeup, love his moxie. One of my favorite words. This guy's a competitor. Gritty, tough, you name it, he's got it. But he did throw an interception in last week's game. That contributed to a loss. And despite the fact he threw 3 touchdown passes, he's going to be out there redoubling his efforts and trying to play better.
White's numbers from a week ago. 18 carries, 65 yards.
And when he went over 1,000 yards last week, you know what it did for their offense? It gave them a true identity because everyone's going to talk about this. The offensive line's going to take pride in it. Of course, the guy carrying the football will. But how about the coaching staff? When they go in and talk contracts, when they talk to reporters, hey, we had a 1,000-yard rusher this year. That means something in today's NFL.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
And for the Browns, a nickel set here on third down. From the gun, it's Brees. And this is going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. And it's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
On fourth down, Matt Hawk is on to punt. Back deep, Julian Edelman. And I don't think Edelman will be able to get to this one. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. That's going to be caught by Kirk. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
On 2nd and 11 now. Rodgers looking for Edelman, and he hits him. It's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. From the gun on third down, Rodgers. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, partner, so much for the mismatch. How about the guy at the second level, that big linebacker, able to run with the receiver and make a play on the football?
Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. Back deep, Danny Amendola. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Pulled in at the 24. Call it a 48-yard punt. Give them 9, though, on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
On 2nd down, it's White. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They run the draw play. This is White. Flashy little move, but unable to reach the 40. Jesse Bates made the tackle from his safety spot. And let's take a look at the Steeler offense.
An offensive line play is not something that comes to mind readily, but it's always a big key in a ball game. And already these guys, they're getting it done up front. As we've seen this rushing attack have some early success.
From the 41, Breeze. Josh Gordon, the intended receiver. 3rd down here. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. They've been very good this year against the pass, currently holding on to a top 10 ranking at number 10.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
The 1st down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on 4th down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hold.
Yep.
He just pushed it, and that one never wanted to come back.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They'll run it here with Hunt. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up 1st downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
On second down, they'll run with White. And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Ready? Yellow lady, yellow lady. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Kill, kill, kill.
They fake the give. Here's Breeze. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first. Took him 5 tries, but he is able to complete that first pass of the game.
And could you hear the exhale all the way up here? Not just from him, coaching staff, offensive line, receivers. Now he's off the schneid. Can they get him going in a nice groove where he becomes a little more consistent throwing the football?
Because you miss those first 2, but you get up the 0 for 4 range. That can be a little tricky, but able to settle in, hopefully.
Yeah, now you won't have any confidence issues. Now you can kind of get it back even with just one throw.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Ready? Yellow lady. 59. Watch the run. They're running.
On second down now. It's White, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Now Breeze on 3rd down. And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down. Kyle Van Noy coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
A first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from down in Arizona. It's the Rams that have grabbed the early lead. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down to close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Amazing. Perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And he'll get him a little space here up to the 5-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. They'll run with Hunt on second down. And an alley to run. And they work this out past the 25. 23 yards the pickup there.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Here we go.
Now they'll throw with Rodgers. And his throw is incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Cleveland. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. On first down, Breeze. He's got it to James White. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll make this a second down. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. He's looking for Ridley again, and it's 3rd and 4. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. To throw is Breeze. Got a man, it's Amendola. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
First down, here's White. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. And a first carry here for Charles Sims. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 11. Shotgun now for Breeze. And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down. The defensive player of the year, Aaron Donald. And it'll be 4th down.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for a loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. And now the Browns coming out on the field.
Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line. Second and a yard. Out of the gun, they run it with Hunt. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
We got this.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Now after the run by Hunt, here's first and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Tackle there by Alex Anzalone. Throwing on second down. Rodgers. They almost had it. The big D lineman nearly had an interception. Instead, it falls down incomplete. Now it's Rodgers.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open. Started to look like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He's been terrific so far. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Latavius Murray getting set to go again. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know who else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, well, the conclusion we draw so far, they're losing here in the second quarter. Let's see if they change tunes. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The defensive player of the year, Aaron Donald. And it'll make this a second and long.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. They go with White on the counter. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10. Now Breeze. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. There's Breeze. And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And the Steelers on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 16. Breeze now. He's got White here. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's Matt Hawk now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On second down, it's Hunt, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez, as he's on for the 5th time here today. Here now, a look at Drew Brees in our player spotlight. And he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. Pressure's been coming at him a lot, hasn't it?
And they've got to figure out how to tamp down that pressure. How do they decrease it? Is it getting rid of the football quicker? Shorter drops? Maybe they do something different with their pass blocking and their protection schemes. Maybe you meet them on the line of scrimmage instead of retreating to try and protect your quarterback. They've got to figure something out, though, because you cannot let your guy get hit that much, not if you intend to win.
Yeah, I know they'd like to erase that video and those 4 sacks that they've seen so far. And he's got Amendola on the connection. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That one, a first down pickup of 8. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Breeze now to throw. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Breeze now on first down. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there at a first down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Again, they'll throw with Breeze.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. The Defensive Player of the Year, Aaron Donald. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. This will be spotted at the 37, so it's a 47-yard attempt. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will tie things up as we head toward halftime. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. So we've reached halftime in a low-scoring affair, just a pair of field goals. 3-3 is our score. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. We're starting to get near the home stretch of this NFL season. It's Week 13, so let's get an update on what's going on. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been as tight as we expected, all tied through one half of play. For the call of the second half, let's get it back to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to roll. 2 field goals, a combined output in half number 1. Could be first touchdown wins. Here now, a look at Drew Brees in our player spotlight. What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage doesn't continue to show more pressure and pressure and pressure?
You feel like it always comes back to leverage, don't you? Who is going to win that battle of the offensive and defensive lines? Low man wins. We talk about that, but we think about it in a running game. Well, guess what? The same thing happens when you're trying to pass protect. Are you low? Are you balanced? Are you in a position where the pass rush won't bowl you over on their way back to the quarterback? They've got to reestablish that in order to try and keep their man upright.
Because they have been bowled over a lot so far in this one.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Ready? 95-56, 95-56. Come on now.
On 2nd and 9, Brees. Amendola's got it, complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. They'll run on first down. White, and he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10. They keep it on the ground. White again. And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And that is incomplete. So a stop here defensively to start this third quarter. Just what's needed in a tie ball game.
Yeah, good chance to build back some momentum on the defensive side of the ball. In fact, what they've done, is give their offense a nice push in the back as they get ready to take the field.
Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do in the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Running with Hunt here out of the shotgun.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
Well, partner, that's one of the problems when you sell out to stop the run on third and short. Sometimes you break the initial wall and you go a long way.
So how do you prevent it?
That's tough to do. That really is tough to do. And one of the things offenses like to do nowadays in practice, you know, they do a lot of working against equal numbers. They'll start putting more and more numbers on defense and just telling the offensive guys, figure it out, learn how to block it. We may see this situation.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Here's a quick throw finding Edelman. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. A gain of 6 there on first. Now it's Hunt. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory even if they don't get it, though. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. This is Hunt on the draw play. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. This is Hunt. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there because this has been a pretty long drive. And normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
They allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
Well, close game, second half. You obviously hate to leave 3 out on the field.
Especially in a game like this when you know points are hard to come by. That was one of their best opportunities so far, and they come away with nothing.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. On first down, White. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. And sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that can be a problem. Think of it this way. Two of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
They had 2 straight first downs, now a gain of 9 to set up 2nd and 1. On second down now, it's White, and he stopped immediately there. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They defer to White out of the shotgun. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Now they'll throw with Breeze. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Breeze now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. This is Murray. Now a flag comes in from the umpire after a gain of about 4. And this looks like it's going to be holding. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guy.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. James Devlin, his first touchdown on the year. And the Steelers have taken the lead. And, boy, that was a heavy set. I think they had 3 tight ends out there. The fullback, you knew what they were going to do.
Yeah, they weren't trying to fool anybody at all, were they? There was none of this show you heavy set, bootleg it out. Nah. Big guys up front, hand it to the big guy in the backfield.
Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sam Hubbard in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Amendola set to return it. Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Breeze. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. They will run with White out of the shotgun. 2nd down, a little more productive than 1st. 7 yards on the gain. It gets them to 3rd and 3 now. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Steelers on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now Breeze. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Breeze now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Throwing now is Breeze. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Trey Waynes, the Michigan State man, right there in coverage. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll run with White. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3.
56. Mike, 56, right there, 56.
Breeze going to try and throw on 3rd down. And Amendola with a catch. And he's going to get the 1st down as they bring him down at the 23. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker.
Yellow lady. Strip the ball. Strip the attack.
On the draw, here's White. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Ready. Yellow lady.
On 2nd and 7, Breeze to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Danny Amendola, that was the intended target, and it's 3rd down. Now this drive, they're 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions, but they need 7 yards here. Here's Breeze to throw, and he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Calvin Ridley, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
Butker on for the PAT. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. That time, a 9-play drive. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Throwing is Rodgers. Hearns brings it in. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. That one, a first down pickup of 8. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. He's got him in, complete. It's Julian Edelman. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. And again, it's Rodgers. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Here's Rodgers to throw. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
The goal of anyone running a curl route is to make sure you try and get defenders on your back and shield them away from the football. But sometimes even when you run a good route, the defense finds a way to knock it away.
Indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. To throw, it's Rodgers. And that is incomplete. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. To throw is Breeze. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Ready, yellow lady, line 59. All right, here we go, 20 seconds.
They'll run on first down. It's White. He's able to get 6. A nice pickup down to the 21.
95-56, 95-56.
It's a pickup of 6.
Opting to run again here with White. White's got a first down and more. And down to the 7-yard line. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is first and goal. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Got his man, it's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Josh Gordon, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead down to 3 touchdowns at 21. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Heading out is the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do and the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Rodgers. 70th catch for him on the year, and like so many others, this goes for a first down. Rodgers now on first down. That's going to be caught by Kirk. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation. Throwing again on 2nd down. Rodgers. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Defensively, that's Earl Thomas, the all-pro safety, knocking it free. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Here's Rodgers. Throwing again. Caught by the tight end, Watson. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Rodgers again now. And he'll have his man. That's Edelman. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Switch it. Come on, switch it.
On first down, Hunt, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he can even get started. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal.
Oh, you Kareem Hunt. We know you've got the power. We know you've got the speed. Now how about that? Show us a little bit of that wiggle in there. How about that one, partner?
Can you imagine trying to tackle that? Yeah, I'll stay up here with you.
All day, dog.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it first and goal as they look to punch in a late score. Rodgers now to throw. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. He'll get only 2 there, and it's second and goal. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Looking to throw again on second down. Rodgers. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And this is up and good. That'll make it a score now of 24-10. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. They'll run on first down. White. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They stay on the ground with White. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Ready? Yellow lady, yellow lady. Everyone got 4 down.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. The Browns will quickly use their third and final timeout as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. Here's Matt Hawk now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. So Aaron Rodgers and his offense down by 2 touchdowns. A little over 80 ticks to go. It's been a struggle to score all day, and now they need to do it twice here late to have a chance. On play action, Rodgers. On the crossing route, that's caught. Julian Edelman. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. They go play action here on first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Rodgers going to throw. Trying for Edelman again. This time he's got it. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. Now Rodgers. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Rodgers going to go on 4th down. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Trey Flowers picks it, fighting his way through contact.
So many times we end the game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Drew Brees with a kneel down, and that ought to do it.
It's a loss of 1. Brings up 2nd and goal.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Steelers, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-4. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for the Browns, it's loss number 5 for them on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.